shut up. The piano music is playing. Okay, Truckcast is working there. Lala, I need you to start, like, sporadically saying stuff, Jack. La 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 dee da dee doo da. Not that loud, please. Just like consistently start saying something.
The Fitness Gram Pacer test is a multi-stage aerobic capacity test that progressively gets more difficult.
There's an advertisement. We need to wait for 30 seconds.
As it continues, the 20-meter pacer test will begin in 30 seconds. Line up at the start. The running speed starts slowly, but gets faster each minute after you hear this sound. A single lap should be completed each time you hear this sound. Remember to run in a straight line and run as long as possible. The test will begin on the word start. On your mark, get ready, start. And actually, give me a second. I'll be like right back. Mr. Postman just dropped a thing at my doorstep.
Sorry, Jack. I had my mic off.
Mr. Postman stopped by my house and dropped off a package, so I'm just gonna go grab that really quick.
Okay, have fun. You are actually louder than me, so that's always a nice thing. Turn us both down. Yeah, that should be a reasonable volume since he talks a lot less than me. Turn media source down. Game capture goes above that. Ooh wee. Professionalism. Don't you just love professionalism? Welcome to the Truckcast. Jack is muted at the moment. Yes, we are joined by a guest. It is Brickbusters. Say hello, Brickbusters. Yeah, he's not gonna say hello. You can find him, Brickbusters, on Twitch. He is just Jack Wilds on YouTube. So you can find him if you go to my channel page. You can find him. He's linked there. He's not with us. If you're new, this is a gaming news, political news, just about anything I want to talk about podcast where we also play Euro Truck at the same time. I'm going to turn the gain audio up a little. Hey, okay, there he is. Say hello, Jack.
Hi. I can recite the Fitness Gram Pacer test from memory.
You're going to have to get turned up a little. There we go. Wish there's a way to choose where the audio input comes from, but that's besides the point. Where are we going to be driving today? Let's see. We are going to be driving from Helsinki. We're going to Russia today, right on the border of Finland and Russia. How does that sound, Jack?
Sounds fantastic.
Okay. Let's get started. Ooh, wait, no, I had to zoom in on that map. Well, never mind. Looks like I'm just going to have to use a really crunchy map for the thumbnail. First of all, I like to talk about my own channel, what's been going on, what might be coming, I don't know. What in the name of God is this? So, Jack, if you go on the stream right now, you can see what I'm hauling. It looks like something you use to... I don't know, it looks like something you'd use for the wood industry, but I just can't figure out what for.
Hold on a second. I'm getting an ad for anti-vaping.
That kind of looks like a pressure piston, but then it's just a big stick. So what are you doing, like poking people with it? I don't know.
Oh, yeah. What is that thing?
Who knows? So what has been going on in my channel? Also, this truck is really slow. The glory of doing a quick job. I did a stream where I played Earth MC. You can find that on Voos 200 Elongated. That's been my new addiction recently.
But I didn't feel like paying for it.
Yeah, he would've joined me. Probably not on that stream though, but he would've joined me in some casual playing. That's a really fun server. Go populate it. They hate it when new traffic comes into the server, because right now it's got a queue of like 500 people and it takes like 2 to 3 hours to get into the actual game, unless you're like me and you paid for priority queue. And even with priority queue, one time it took me 45 minutes to get into the game. Another video I made was, I personally, all on my own, I get 100% credit, found a video of some Russians doing some sort of ballet.
Nope.
Well, what's wrong?
Me and Jimmy did that first.
Jimmy is Little Timmy Tim's. He's also linked in my video description. Jimmy's always busy, so he can't really join us for stuff like...
What is he busy with? That's my question.
God knows what. Being depressed, I'd assume.
Yeah, probably.
So yeah, you found the Russians doing ballet, but I put the September over it.
You did. You did that part.
Have you seen that video yet, Jack? Because it's truly something to behold.
I watched it.
You did?
Yeah.
No, I mean like the finished video. Did you watch that?
Yeah, I went to your channel.
What the fuck is this truck doing? And now I
have if it'll quench your view thirst, I'll bring it up right now. There.
No, you don't have to.
Alright, no, I have it going on my other monitor. I'm good.
Oh, now he goes. Now the truck goes. And lastly, there was supposed to be a GTA video yesterday, but it got copyright claimed. Funny story about that. Got copyright claimed because there was a portion and I was like, hey, future self, edit this out. So usually when it comes to Let's Plays, I don't watch through the Let's Play. I only do that with the edited videos. So what I usually do is I skim through and I look for a portion of the video where there's no audio, or quiet audio, I should say. And usually that's something I'm like, hey, future me, edit this out if I get a phone call or God knows what. But in this instance, I forgot to scan through the video because I was already too occupied. Because at the very start of the video, it starts with two people having sex. So I kind of had to blur that out with a politician.
I could just barely make that out over the sounds of September.
You're watching. Okay. So I had to blur that out with politician's face. So GTA should be next week. I don't know. Not like very many people care, though. Speaking of that, I should probably mention, if you're one of the few people watching the stream right now, I always upload my stream archives to Voos 200 Elongated. And if you're one of the people watching the stream archives and you want to join or interact with the stream, I announce whenever I'm streaming at Voos 200 on Twitter, and I stream Voos 200_3 on Twitch. I already went over Jack's Twitch, unless you want to say it again.
TTV Brickbusters, I think. I didn't change it. I shortened it to Brick over like the winter, and I haven't changed my Twitch name.
That's great. Now into miscellaneous news. There's only one. Detective Pikachu was released. Have you seen it?
No, but I want to.
Ah, so from everything
Because
I've heard is that it was really, really disappointing.
thing is, it has Flareon in it,
Okay.
which is all I need. I really like Flareon. It's my favorite Pokemon.
Listen, Bucko, I'm an Oshawott kind of person myself, so,
Okay, I respect that.
um, what else? Oh, no, that's it for miscellaneous news, but yeah, apparently it was really disappointing, so I'm not gonna bother to see it.
Just out of curiosity, I think I'm gonna watch it.
I watched the Emoji Movie when that came out, so...
I'm glad I didn't watch the Emoji Movie. I have never actually watched the Emoji Movie,
I watched it when it came out.
and I am very proud of that fact.
So, I was with another friend of mine. We got to the movie theater really early, like 15 minutes early for the movie.
Mm-hmm.
We were the only people in the theater, and what's great is when you get there early, they don't play like the movie ads, you know, trailers for other movies. They actually
Mm-hmm.
play like proper advertisements. Okay?
Yeah.
So we got there when they were playing the actual advertisements, and we were the only people sitting there, dead center in the theater, and then the entire screen just shuts off. And we sat there for like 30 seconds wondering if they knew we were there. And then out of nowhere, BAM! It turns back on. And eventually the theater filled up with a lot more people, mostly parents and their children who actually wanted to see the Emoji Movie. But that was a fun experience. Let's into gaming news. The Sims 4 is free on Origin. I highly suggest if you're someone who has never tried a Sims game or just hasn't tried Sims 4, get that. Sims 4 is, well, I treat Sims 4 and Sims 3 equally. Really, I think they both have strengths and weaknesses. But Sims 4 is probably one of the better Sims games, so I highly suggest you go get it. The DLCs aren't free, but the game itself is free. Have you ever played a Sims game, Jack?
I've played like 15 minutes of a Sims 4 demo.
Are you gonna try out Sims 4 now that it's free?
Probably not. I'm not much of a Sims person.
I'd try it out anyway. The thing is, I've spoiled myself. I have so many of the DLCs that if I even try to play base game, it just feels so bare. You know?
Well, it's like I remember back like a couple of years ago, I played so much Gmod. And like if you look on my dad's account, which is the account I played on, I have so many hours in there. Like more hours than I do in all of the Destiny games combined. And like I just spent an unhealthy amount of time playing it. And I loaded it with so many add-ons. It took anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes just to load the game on this poor little HP that we used to have. And then after that I got into Destiny.
Yeah. I was in a very similar situation. But I have to make sure you did have whack aircrafts, correct?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, that's the most important add-on. Yeah.
I did a lot of the car add-ons.
Well, there was S-Car, and then... So S-Car was pretty basic cars, but then there was TDM.
TDM and SGM are the best.
I don't know what SGM is.
SGM is like it was a smaller one with more like specialized cars. Like they made
Well, no, I think I had one SGM car, and that was like an RV.
Alright, yeah. I remember there being the RV. I gotta just boot up Gmod again someday.
Yeah. Well, Gmod is my
with all
most
the
played
add-ons on my
game on
dad's account.
Steam. I don't think it's my most played game in general. It's possible my most played game was like Sims 2 Castaway or Animal Crossing City Folk, but that's not really something I can measure because I was like 8 when I played those. So the most played game I can measure is, I'd assume, would be GTA 5 because they have all that information on the social club. But that's besides the point. Do you have any gaming news?
Well, at least as far as Destiny goes, some of the most controversial changes Bungie has ever made to the game are taking place on like the 4th, and that's when the new season starts. They nerfed some of the game's most iconic and most powerful weapons. And
sorry,
okay,
I was in a bit of a situation there.
one of the weapons, it's a like revolver called Ace of Spades, and basically this one like really iconic character, Cage 6. He basically, the expansion that dropped in September of last year, basically dealt with his death. And Cade, like a long time ago, like centuries ago, had a son named Ace. And his revolver was basically the memory of his son. And, so now people are saying, like, you're ruining Cade's memory of his son and all that.
Because they nerfed his revolver?
Yes, they made it
stupid.
It is very stupid.
I'm at the Russian border. Ooh, isn't this fun?
So
Russian border.
The thing is, some people are like trying to protest this nerf by using only Ace of Spades for the rest of Destiny 2. Like, how is that a protest in any way, shape, or form? Because the way Bungie likes to nerf stuff is they just like to see, alright, everyone's using this one gun. Let's nerf it for no reason.
The border checkpoint is checking my documents. It literally says checking your documents, please wait.
Is there a way to have forged documents in Eurotruck?
I didn't make any documents. I got worried there that maybe I had to apply for documents or something, you know, make sure I had a passport. But no, I guess I'm just allowed into Russia. This is the first time I've actually been in Russia in Eurotruck. I did it with some mods a while back, but in proper Eurotruck, this is the first time I've been in. Go through like 2 border checkpoints, like 2 gates, I should say. Is that it for your gaming news?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, I think I know what it was. It was one for exiting Finland and then another for entering Russia. At least that's my assumption. Because I know Finland and Russia have a bit of a buffer zone between them, as do most places in Russia. I dropped something, and now I'm veering off the road.
So yeah, I need your opinion. Should me, Jimmy, and Dakota make a sequel to the movie?
Just don't do it with Dakota. Okay, this isn't a conversation we need to be having on a podcast, but just...
Oh, yeah.
Let me tell you, don't do it with Dakota.
I get that.
Red Dead Redemption. Red Dead Redemption Online. I'm not going to talk about most of the online since that's been covered to death. I'm just going to talk about some new things that is going to be released. And that is, there are going to be some new missions where first you help out Sadie going to Sadie's ranch, and then there's some missions with Black Belle, who was in a side mission of Red Dead Redemption 2, the single player. I know a lot of people were really happy that they get to see Sadie again. I don't care that you get to see Sadie, because this is Sadie before her husband died, so she hasn't turned into a complete psychopath yet, and that's when Sadie gets good, is when she turned into a complete psychopath. Black Belle, on the other hand, I'm really happy with, because Black Belle was a great character, and Black Belle made sense. to be in the online. So I'm okay with that. I realize you don't know anything about that. Have you ever contemplated playing Red Dead, Jack?
I've thought about it.
Yeah, Red Dead's an amazing game, but I don't think it's your kind of game. The Euro Truck Simulator 2 1.35 open beta was released. I'm not going to do open betas on this series, but that has RGB support, which I'm really happy about. It also adds Corsica if you have the Italia DLC. Wait, no, not Corsica, sorry, Sardinia. Or it might have been Corsica. It was one of the two islands. I don't remember which one it was. It was Sardinia is the Italian one, Corsica is the French one, but even knowing that, it still might have been Corsica. So it was one of the two islands. So that's gonna be exciting because I do have Italia. Also, there's something else with 1.35, but oh, that's right. They were reworking Germany because Germany's kind of bare bones, which is fair enough. Project, I never know how to pronounce this project. It is a group of people trying to recreate Fallout 2 in Fallout 4's engine. I am fully in support of it, but I have to tell anyone, do not get your hopes up. I was amazed when Fallout New California got released because usually big, ambitious mods like that just never get released. I'm less excited about Fallout 2 because I've never really played Fallout 2. And I'm more excited about Fallout 3 or Fallout 4. Sorry, not Fallout 3.
I think there's another person at my door. Hold on a second.
That sounds fun.
Amazon
I know you
Prime.
don't care about Fallout, so I'll do this anyway.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, I'm more excited about Fallout 3 or Fallout New Vegas in Fallout 4. Those are two other mods that people are making. Because I love Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas, but Fallout 4 will still remain my favorite Fallout. Just because I cannot stand the engine for Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas. And also, Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas combat isn't fun. And I realize a lot of people don't play Fallout for the combat. And I don't really either. If I played Fallout solely for the combat, I wouldn't be able to play New Vegas at all, you know? Just because the combat's so bad. I play Fallout for the decisions and the mechanics like that, but I still think combat should be a very, very big feature in Fallout, although optional. So it will be much, much better when... this is a tough turn. If the mods get made for Fallout New Vegas and Fallout 3 to be put into Fallout 4's engine... I like to compare Fallout to drugs, you know? I like to say Fallout 4 is like pure cocaine, okay? It's just sheer enjoyment. Whereas Fallout New Vegas and Fallout 3 is more like taking acid or something, some hallucinogen, okay? Because, it's a lot different. And a lot of the stuff in Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas can be a lot darker in nature. Jack, are you back yet?
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay. Did you hear my spiel about drugs?
No.
Okay. That's
By the way, alright, so 2 of the 3 packages that got here, they're freaking cables. Like, DisplayPort and HDMI cables.
They're not your CPU you were ordering?
Actually, about that. Yeah, they when we ordered them on Saturday, they didn't even have them in stock when we ordered them.
Sounds fun.
So I should have it all done next week.
Okay.
It's Washington, so at least it's not shipping from China.
Mm-hmm. I once ordered some fidget spinners for China and they never arrived.
Hold on a second. Another person is in my driveway.
What?
I'll be right back.
Yeah, well, there's just more Fallout news, so I don't think you care. A YouTuber by the name of Tomato Anus completed a Fallout New Vegas speedrun to have sex with everyone in the game. Yes. Now, funny story about this. I found this when I was looking for gaming news. It was on Polygon. It was on GameSpot. It was on all the websites, okay? And it was not something I was expecting to be on the websites. But I had already seen this video before it got on the websites, because Tomato Anus is one of my personal subscriptions. He actually did having sex with everyone in Fallout 4 before he did having sex with everyone in Fallout New Vegas. So that's fun. We just leveled up. I am going to go for... Oh, that's right. It was ADR, which is the different licenses you can get to do stuff. I always did flammable solids first. Ding, apply. Email, we can help you grow. Oh, this was the 400,000 loan, except I'm not taking out loans in this playthrough, because loans are too much of a hassle to pay back. I'm just sticking with quick jobs for a good while. Going from Helsinki to... I've already done this drive before. I think I've done this drive several times before. To drive from Helsinki to Sweden. That's a longer drive. No, it starts further into Finland, but it goes further into Sweden. So... that would be a fun drive. I like going south in Sweden. Estonia, though. Boy, do I love my Estonia. I do feel like Southern Europe is a lot more detailed in Euro Truck. Ooh, I forgot to mention, I don't think I put this on my notes. The DLC that everyone at one point thought was going to be Balkans for Euro Truck is actually a Greece and Turkey DLC, which actually, looking at the map, is kind of interesting. Because right now, the map doesn't really go down to Greece and Turkey, so I'm assuming they're just going to do a port over from Italy. But that just seems like a weird kind of port. One thing I don't like is...
Okay, I'm back.
Okay, I was just talking about Euro Truck. They put this connection in from Germany to the Baltics in case you didn't have going east, which adds Poland. I wish if you did have going east, they just got rid of that ferry, because that ferry makes no sense. And no one would actually use that in real life. But that's besides the point. We are done with gaming news. We are going on to politics, but also a lot of YouTube drama.
So that third vehicle in my driveway, it was this random truck I've never seen before in my life. And they just parked there. They just sat there for a little bit. And the door was open, and then some dude comes running up to the truck from across my yard. And talks to the driver, and then just runs into the street.
Probably someone went to the wrong house.
Probably.
I feel like I'm in my summer car right now. I don't know if you've ever played that game, but it's a game set in Finland, and I am in Finland right now, and the scenery is very similar to my summer car. So like I said, politics, lots of YouTube drama. First of all, we're gonna do YouTube drama first, and then get into deeper politics. Really controversial politics as well. James Charles.
Oh boy.
Whoa boy. You know, this is a popular subject to talk about when people who I don't usually symbolize with discussing topics like this were discussing it at lunch. People at my table, other than the socialist we must not name, were discussing YouTube drama, which is very uncommon. I'm kind of happy that people are kind of dipping their hands in the more serious topics. Although I would argue that this really isn't a serious topic, because to be fair, I do not care about this whole issue, especially when it comes to the vitamins and stuff. I do not care. It's literally all the vitamins are is just drama. What I think we should be focusing more on is the allegations that James Charles is trying to turn straight men gay, or he's abusing his position to get photos and or try and do stuff with straight men. It's just a long story.
Yeah.
What do you think
So,
about it, Jack?
okay, so I've only heard the allegations of James Charles trying to seduce straight guys.
Uh-huh.
There are also like screenshots of him like being into like all right, I quote him on this. He looks like 10. That like he was into this guy. He said he looks like he was 10.
Uh-huh.
So that could also be another thing. I'm not sure, but I haven't heard the whole vitamins part. Just give me like a brief explanation about that.
Okay, vitamins. Good lord. Tati, I don't know. It's an influencer that I've never heard of before. It's like Tati or something is her name. She was popular on the platform before James Charles was even in the picture, and what she did is she got James Charles a whole lot of publicity, and Charles credits her for making him famous and all this other stuff. Now, Tati is, I think that's her name. Tati owns a vitamin company. She sells vitamins, which is already kind of sketchy, but that's besides the point. And then James Charles took a sponsorship deal with a different vitamin company, and Tati wasn't happy about that since James Charles was supporting the competition. So it's just YouTube drama. It's all
right,
it is.
yeah, that's incredibly pointless.
Uh-huh.
But I mean, yeah, like we should really be focusing on the allegations. If that's all the vitamins part is, like that's just really stupid drama. But I mean, like James Charles trying to get it with straight guys, that's quite a bit more serious.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's talk about prank videos. I want you to visualize this prank and tell me if you feel it was right or wrong, okay?
Okay.
Two influencers.
So you just gotta like put the mic into your mouth every time you say influencer.
I can hear your dog.
Alright, yeah, that's because my dad's here. I might have to go on mute for a little bit.
Ah, sounds fun.
Okay.
And he went on mute.
Well, yeah, I can still talk as long as you're fine with hearing my dog.
Yes, well, then mute yourself when you're not talking and unmute when you are talking. That works.
Okay.
Wonderful. So, two influencers dressed up as Walmart managers snuck into a Walmart, brought several of the employees to their office, and told them that they were fired. Supposedly, not supposedly, in the prank video, the employees began crying and all this other stuff, and I want you to tell me how you feel about a prank like this.
Well, first off, I'm impressed with the fact that they actually managed to pull that off. It seems like a Walmart employee would, like, they should be able to recognize their manager, right?
Yeah, that seems a little strange, but I just read this. I didn't actually, like, watch the video or anything.
But yeah, that is kind of like a terrible thing to do. Especially considering, like, most of these are people, like, with their first jobs or people that just can't really that are having trouble finding a job. Like, that's just kind of a mean thing to do.
Mm-hmm. So,
I might have to go on mute here.
Yeah, that's fine. Here's the unfortunate side effect of this, is now a whole bunch of people are calling that we should stop prank videos as a concept on YouTube, that no one should make prank videos anymore, and I think this is ridiculous. A big video that this is being compared to is a video by Improv Everywhere, where they got about 50 people to dress up as Best Buy employees and just kind of wander around a Best Buy. However, Well, like all they did was wear a khaki pants and blue polo shirts, no markings or anything. However, I think this is a lot different because they didn't claim to be Best Buy employees, and they didn't do anything. All they did was just kind of walk around the Best Buy in khaki pants and a polo shirt.
Yeah, like that's perfectly acceptable. But I
Mhm.
mean, if you're like just completely like pretending to fire someone from their job while acting as a manager, that's terrible to do. But just kind of walking around in clothes that look kind of similar to the uniforms, that's just fine. It's kind of funny.
Mhm.
Like
Um.
those are two different levels of similar pranks. One on one hand is perfectly acceptable, while the other just takes it too far.
Mhm. So it can be YouTube drama or anything political. Do you have any political news you want to talk about?
All right. So, have you been on like really active this weekend on Instagram?
I don't. I'm never active on Instagram, Jack.
Well, have you like signed in enough to like look at people's stories?
I don't look at people's stories.
Well, there's this most definitely fake sob story going around. Let's see if I can try to find it.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I'm trying to find it. Aha. Okay. So, I swear, almost every single girl in the entire school put this on their story this weekend, okay? A 15-year-old girl holds hands with her 1-year-old son. People call her a slut. Nobody knows she was raped at age 14. People call another guy fat, but nobody knows he has a serious illness causing him to be overweight. People call an old man ugly when they
I
don't know
think
he
I've
nearly
seen this
died fighting
before.
for our country in the war. Repost this if you are against bullying and stereotyping. I
Yeah.
bet that 88% of you won't, but to the 22%, they think 88
Wait,
plus
what?
22 equals 100.
It's like.
That's,
Wait,
that's
what?
the first sign it's a fake.
Oh.
Who have a heart. Hi, my name is Amy Bruce. I'm 7 years old and I have severe lung cancer. I also have a large brain tumor from repeated beatings. The doctors say that I will die soon if this isn't fixed, but my family can't pay the bills. The Make-A-Wish Foundation have agreed to donate 7 cents each time this message is sent along. For those who share my story, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. But for those who didn't, what goes around comes around. Please have a heart and put this on your Instagram feed.
Okay, this is bullshit. I haven't seen the whole 7 cents part. That's obviously fake. However, the first part I've seen something to a similar degree before, and I'm 90% sure it was on Instagram back when I used to be somewhat active on Instagram.
Oh yeah, that was back in the olden days, the dark ages of Instagram.
Oh, I don't know how long ago it was. It was like 3 years ago.
I remember it being like 2015. I'd like to say.
Yeah, that was about the time. Well, that was about when I joined Instagram.
I've been on Instagram since like 2013,
Ah.
and you definitely don't want to scroll all the way down and see what's on my old page.
No, I have. Didn't you have like a pizza on there or something?
Well, I mean, I do eat a lot of pizza, so there's definitely a good chance of you seeing a pizza on there.
Yeah, I think there was like a post where you were eating pizza or something. Ah! Just having minor accidents.
Like I can scroll all the way down to the bottom. You can see my iPod Touch 4 camera quality.
That sounds crunchy.
It was very much so. No, yeah. Let me see if I can find one of my old pictures, because I still have the account. I just don't use it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be a couple minutes for you to scroll all the way down to the bottom of my feed.
Yes, I don't post much on Instagram. I don't remember what my bio is right now, but for a while my bio was I'm only active when I go on vacation. Cause that's pretty much true. Like if I go on my Instagram right now, I don't really follow anyone either. I'll go over my follows in a moment.
I got a screenshot of like one of my first picture ever on Instagram. I'm gonna Discord DM it to you. It is really bad.
Okay. It is a pizza. It is a freaking pizza. I knew I remembered.
The first picture on my I ever posted on Instagram was of pizza, but it's like a Totino's party pizza.
So I just went on my Instagram right now. I'm gonna go over where each of these pictures was taken. Most of them are bundles of pictures, but I'm just gonna go over where the group of pictures was taken. DC, Gettysburg, Michigan State Stadium, Lansing, New York City. This one was actually one at home. It was a picture right after I got done building my computer. This one was at a lake in like the middle of Michigan called Houghton Lake. I know you know where that is, Jack, but I'm just saying that for the stream. This one was up in northern Michigan on an island called Mackinac Island. Another Mackinac Island, another also, Mackinac, which is by Mackinac Island.
If you're from Michigan and you don't know what Mackinac Island is, you don't live in Michigan. That's just a lie you're telling yourself.
This one was also in northern Michigan. Detroit, which I'm in a lot, but it was a decent picture of Detroit. That was a picture of some dogs. Myrtle Beach. This was a picture on the highway of Detroit. It was a picture of a car with a whole bunch of Minion stickers on it. Like, the car was plastered in Minion stickers.
I remember that.
Cedar Point Amusement Park, which is an amusement park in northern Ohio. I believe it's an amusement park with the most roller coasters in the world. So that. Houghton Lake, near Houghton Lake, and also near Houghton Lake. That was in Dearborn at the Henry Ford Museum. So yeah, if you're noticing a pattern here, 90% of the stuff is when I was on vacation.
Alright, I'm just gonna scroll all the way down to the bottom and just go through and, or I'm just gonna go at, like, a decent point. How about, I'm gonna start, where should I start? I'm going to start, I'm trying to find a good place. Something that won't put me into, like, freaking shock because of how cringy it is. Okay, how about this? Go-kart track, like, Woodhaven, Trenton, Dearborn,
You're going
Toledo,
over where we live.
home.
Be careful.
Okay, yeah. Indiana?
Where were you in Indiana? I always like to summarize Indiana by saying the state that you have to drive through to get somewhere better.
Yes. But in this case, we were actually staying in Indiana for like a couple days.
Why?
Back like a few years ago when I was still actually kind of in shape.
Jack, you're acting like you're not in shape. Like, you're not fat or nothing, but...
No, I'm just, like, incredibly skinny.
Yes, like, that's what I was about to say. You are literally a noodle.
But back when I actually had, like, some sort of muscle, like back when I played soccer and everything.
Yep.
My dad and I were really into mountain biking.
Oh
And
shit! Oh boy. Okay. Why don't you go on the stream right now?
Okay, I'll go on stream.
Chilling here with one viewer.
Okay.
You know, we're
About
popping when we got one viewer.
Another bad anti-vaping ad. It's
Are you seeing this yet?
it's a 30-second long anti-vaping ad. Okay. Oh yeah, you're flipped over on your side. That sounds like fun.
Yep. Funny story about my lack of views. I'll let you get to your mountain biking in a moment. I'm constantly going up in subscribers and in views. It's just slow. But you want to know a video that's had a sudden influx in views recently?
Squeaker's Paradise.
Oh, did I already tell you about that?
Yeah, you told me about that.
Yeah, my Minecraft parody of Gangster's Paradise, which was 100%.
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna watch that right now.
Oh, good lord! Don't please no. My voice is.
I haven't seen it before.
My parody of Gangster's Paradise, which was 100% satirical, just had a sprout in views because Gangster's Paradise was used in the Sonic trailer.
I see the stupid Hunger Games, and I just see Todd Howard silently snaps Derv's neck.
That was a good video. I should make another one of those. I actually enjoyed making that video.
Alright, let me find 12 Days of Science.
Oh, don't watch
Is it
that.
older or newer than that?
I want to say it's newer than that.
Okay. Just trying to find some
If you
reference.
go to my most popular, it's like my third most popular video.
Text prank on best friend.
No,
Jacob
no,
Sartorius.
no,
Hit or miss.
No. That's my most popular video. It was a text lyric prank.
What else? What? I just can't. All right, there's Lamppost. Older or newer?
Oh, it's definitely older than Lamppost.
Okay. All right. Food news, October 25th.
Okay,
Little
that's
baby
my
Bun
oldest
Bun
video,
died.
so I think it's newer than that.
The sandwich is mad. Scooter Stuntman. Wait, what is this?
What? What is it? What did you click on?
Scooter Stuntman.
Don't watch that, please. Those were my days of just using text-to-speech and crap.
I see Scooter. I click on it.
Just sort by most popular and you'll find it.
Alright, I'm scared.
The audio's not very good.
I'm just skipping to halfway through it.
How does it sound? Jack?
Oh my.
Can you comment?
You sound like a completely different person.
I know, isn't it great?
Oh god, that is the worst thing I've ever watched. Sorry about that. That, like... FBI duck?
Oh, that's an older one.
Ow!
Oh, Was it the quacking? Was it the wah wah wah?
Yes.
RT Game is streaming right now. Okay, we're getting really sidetracked. You were talking about mountain
I'm sorry.
biking in
I just have to
Indiana.
watch your CVS receipts.
That was a decent video. I mean, it's stupid, but it was like the joke is kind of decent. Funny story, I could have printed out anything and put it on a CVS receipt. I did quite literally, though, copy and paste the Declaration of Independence.
Also, I want to know the story behind Lamppost.
Well, it was during a phase where I felt like keeping up a schedule was important. Now I always make sure I post the right video on the right day, but it doesn't mean I'm still posting the proper amount of videos a week. So at that point, I needed a Tuesday video idea, which is literally just anything random. So I literally just spoke a word into a microphone, picked a random image, and named the title something weird. I don't know. It just made no sense, but it got a few views, so I decided to keep it around.
And also, I think the best part is that you posted it on 9/11.
Did I?
Yes, you posted that on 9/11.
Of what year?
2018.
That was 2018, really?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going mountain biking in Indiana, which doesn't
Yeah.
make much sense because I thought Indiana was a flat state, but whatever. Except for like
Actually,
the southern
alright.
part of Indiana.
So there's a city in Indiana, like a pretty small town called Nashville, in Indiana.
Wait, what?
Even yeah, Nashville, Indiana.
I'm confused.
It's not Nashville, Tennessee. It's Nashville, Indiana.
Okay.
So it's just a really, really, really high elevation city.
Is it in the south? The southern
All right,
part of
let
Indiana?
me just find it.
Because that's the only
Brown
part I
County
can...
State Park. Yeah, southern Indiana.
Yeah, that's what I figured. That would be the only part that has any sort of elevation.
Maps. Let me just kind of give you like a rough reference of where it is. It's like, let me it's like an hour's drive from Indianapolis.
Yeah, so it's pretty far south. Indiana kind of reminds me of Finland, because Finland is just completely flat until you get to the northwestern part, where it borders
Also, you're gonna
Norway.
hear the dog. Yeah, I'm gonna mute really quick.
Okay, when you get to the really northwest part, where it borders Norway, and you have a fair amount of mountains, that kind of reminds me. There was a movie starring Samuel L. Jackson set in Finland where Samuel L. Jackson, who is the president, by the way, Air Force One ends up getting shot down, okay? And Samuel L. Jackson, alone, without any Secret Service, ends up parachuting down into Finland in the mountains, even though the mountains in the movie are way greater than they even would be in northwestern Finland, but we'll just ignore that. He finds a kid who seems to not care whatsoever that he's with the President of the United States. And I will say that the personality of the child is probably the most accurate thing about Finland in the movie. Because the child is just so monotone, and he just doesn't care that he's fucking saving the President of the United States in northern mountainous Finland. And what makes it better, I mean, it's not just any President of the United States, it's Samuel L. Jackson, President of the United States. So about that mountain biking.
But yeah, there's like a state park there, and they have a bunch of trails. and we'd go there like once a year,
Uh-huh.
and just spend like a day or two down there, ride the trails, and then head back home.
Is that it?
Huh?
Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay. More YouTube
Also,
drama.
I think it's worth mentioning that it was called Brown County State Park.
There's lots of brown counties and stuff. Mumbo Jumbo, a Minecraft YouTuber, had his entire, well, almost his entire channel copyright striked for a song he had the rights to.
Well, that's fantastic. I mean, really, just YouTube copyright. Like when you hear stuff like that, it's sad because it's starting to get normal now.
Mm-hmm.
Like honestly, YouTube they're just so focused on money, or these companies they're so focused on money.
It's the companies. It's
Yeah.
YouTube systems that is broken because it allows companies to mass flag without any punishment. And what happens then is the companies get all of the revenue from his channel until they fix the issue. And it's not like they have to give the revenue back or anything unless the person was to go out of their way to sue. So, I think that's it for drama, though, which is crazy. What's next? Oh lord. Actual politics. You want to know a fun topic that everyone likes to discuss? Not controversial at all. Jack?
Huh?
You want to know a fun topic that everyone likes to discuss that's not controversial at all?
What is it?
Abortion.
Oh boy.
Now, we live in a more conservative state, I'd argue. It's a swing state, but I'd say it's definitely more on the conservative side. So a lot of people here are against abortion. Now, I always think the biggest thing about abortion is just to avoid the debate entirely, and instead of arguing about whether or not abortion should be legal, we should just make sex education and make birth control more available to the people. The big issue with sex education is the schools are poorly funded, the teachers aren't doing much, and the students don't really care. The big issue with birth control is people try to ban birth control. And this always amazes me because that's 90% of the time it's Christians that are trying to ban birth control. And I just can't think of a reason why.
And I mean, it would seem pretty weird, or pretty conflicting. You ban birth control, but get mad when abortion rates rise.
Yeah.
Like you have two options. Like ban that, or well, just keep this confliction going and watch as your abortion rates climb, or just not ban them and prevent this whole situation.
Uh-huh. So, Jack, I get into the game, and I look at what I'm hauling, and I go, oh, I'm hauling dumbbells. Or barbells. No, barbells. Dumbbells are the little ones. I was thinking of barbells. Okay? Look on the stream, and you can see what I'm hauling. And then I start thinking, I start applying any sort of logic whatsoever, and I realize, those are kind of big to be dumbbells. Or barbells. And you know what they are? They are... Huh?
It's another 30-second anti-vaping ad.
Wonderful. And I'll just stay in third person for a while so you can see. And you know what they are? They are train axles. So the wheels that are on a train, essentially. So yeah, I'm not gonna go into my personal opinion on abortion at all. I mean, I think I could, but I just don't think it's needed. My thing about abortion is I don't think any law for abortion. Well, no, let me rephrase that. There's one law for abortion that should be legal nationwide, okay? And that is people should be allowed to get an abortion. Um, they should be allowed to get an abortion if, oh God, Lord, I can't think. If it is at risk to both the child and the parent, or just the parent, you know, if the if the birth risks death towards somebody. Do you get to see the barbells at all right now?
Yeah, I see them.
How do they look?
They're very big barbells.
Yes. Um, if either of the parties are at risk of death, that's the only nationwide thing. Otherwise, I think it's 100% okay for the states to choose. I do not want a nationwide law for or against abortion. I just want the states to choose. And I feel like a lot of people would be happier that way. You know?
And also, apparently, so you know how with Arthur, it was revealed that Mr. Ratburn was gay?
Yeah, I never watched Arthur, but
Alright, Mr. Ratburn is basically like Arthur's teacher. He's a really cool guy.
Mm-hmm.
They revealed that he was gay, and they aired an episode.
Yeah, it was banned in Alabama.
Yes, it is banned in Alabama.
Which is ridiculous.
Alabama is just really making the news recently.
Yeah. So, the reason I think it should be statewide is because the United States was founded, and a lot of people seem to forget the United States was founded on an idea, okay, that if you don't like the laws, or if you don't like the state you live in, that your solution is to just move to another state, okay? If I don't like the laws that are where I live, I shouldn't be forced to move to another country. I should have the option of just moving to another state. But I feel like, especially more recently, a lot of people are just forgetting that. They want more and more nationwide laws. And if abortion was a statewide law, everyone would be happy. Everyone would be happy because if they didn't like the abortion laws of the state they were in, they could just go somewhere else.
Oh, also, so I'm getting posts on my Explorer and stuff on Instagram. Basically detailing how to sneak out of Alabama and into another state to get an abortion.
So that brings me on to another thing, how Alabama now criminalizes you if you have an abortion in another state, or, by far the worst one, if you have an abortion in another state and then try to go to Alabama, it's now criminalized. It's kind of like the idea if you smoke weed in Wyoming and then you walk across the border to North Dakota, how they can now arrest you. It's a kind of a similar sort of situation. Now, here's where I stand on it. If you are a resident of a state where abortion is illegal, you cannot get an abortion in another state unless you are also a resident of that second state.
Yes.
But if you are a resident of a state that has abortion legal and you have an abortion, there is no reason you should be arrested when you go to Alabama. That is just utterly ridiculous.
See, the thing is, I'm wondering, how they judge that.
No, it's like if you get, a driver's ticket or something, and they always have that information on there. You know,
thing is, say...
They're not going down like they got this special scanner that scans woman, have you had an abortion? Like everyone who enters the state, you know.
Yeah, I was wondering how they judged that.
Yeah. But otherwise, like I said, I don't want to give my personal opinion on abortion because I don't think that's necessary for the type of stream I want to go for. Any comments you have on that, Jack?
No. I mean, yeah, like really, like if you don't like the fact that abortion is being banned in, say, Alabama, then just leave Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
It is as simple as that.
Well, I wouldn't say it's as simple as that. A lot of people like their state they're in, but I don't think that matters.
Yeah.
I think that
Yeah,
just goes
I do
against.
understand there could be like some conflicting stuff in there, like
Uh-huh.
having to leave family and all that.
Yeah, but I just.
But
think...
I mean, for the most part, if there isn't that sort of affair going on, it is really that simple.
Mm-hmm. Next, the United States plans on sending 120,000 troops to the Middle East in areas that border Iran to prepare for possible engagements against the United States. Because the president was making threats to Iran over Twitter.
Oh. Why exactly was Donald Trump making threats to Iran over Twitter?
The nuclear deal.
Well, that's just fantastic. So, we finally managed to mostly get rid of ISIS, but we've still got the whole Israel situation going on over there, and now we have this.
What does this have to do with the United States?
I'm just saying, can we ever draw ourselves out of there?
Well, I don't. We didn't really do much with Israel. ISIS is a different story. So here's the thing: what people don't realize. So first there was Desert Storm in the 90s. Desert Storm was completely uncalled for. We did not need to go to the Middle East for Desert Storm. It was essentially just the United States trying to be peacekeepers. Then we had Afghanistan. Afghanistan was perfectly justified because we weren't like attacking the Afghanistan government or anything. It was that we were attacking the Taliban, which is fine. Although a lot of people tend to gloss over how we gave the Taliban the weapons that they used, but we don't talk about that. Now, Iraq is a bit different. I don't actually remember, and I need to do some research as to why the United States went back to war with Iraq after they gave up in Desert Storm. It might have been justified, it might not have been. I vaguely remember there being something where the U.S. Embassy was held under siege. I don't really remember. So Iraq may or may not have been justified, but that's done. That's in the past. We don't need to worry about that anymore. A lot of people had a problem with us fighting ISIS. Now, I disagree. I think us fighting ISIS was fine because ISIS held terrorist attacks in the United States, but more importantly, they were taking over territory in Iraq, which was now U.S. influenced after the war with Iraq. Like I said, what's done is done, but now we are essentially allies with Iraq. So it is important that we continue to protect Iraq. So fighting ISIS was fine. What I disagree with was fighting ISIS through rebels and, more importantly, Kurdistan. Because, first of all, some of the rebels that we were fighting ISIS through are not rebels we really want to be associating with. And more importantly, Kurdistan. Kurdistan puts us in an iffy situation because Kurdistan is at war with Turkey. We are helping Kurdistan fight ISIS, but Turkey is also part of NATO, which we are in. So it ends up with this weird, like, love triangle kind of thing with the United States, Turkey, and Kurdistan, you know? Where Turkey's at war with Kurdistan, but the United States is allies with both Kurdistan and Turkey. So, I mean, what do we do?
But I mean, I just think it's sort of funny that almost my entire life there has been a war of some sort going on in the Middle East.
Well, no, pretty much your entire life there's been a war in the Middle East. We're still technically in Afghanistan. Genuinely, your entire life. Because, you know, Afghanistan was 2001, Iraq was 2003. So, would have been your entire life, because there's still been stuff since then. Afghanistan is more peacekeepers now, less people actually fighting the Taliban. Ever since we assassinated Osama bin Laden. But the point is, there's still people in Afghanistan, even now. Iraq's done and done, but there's people in Iraq fighting ISIS, so... Except ISIS is almost done as well. What I 100% disagree with is, bombing the Syrian government. That is 100% peacekeeping, because the Syrian government did nothing to us. Absolutely nothing. Like, yes, they were gassing their own people and stuff, but it's just not the United States' job to govern the world.
Yes. I mean, like, yes, they're doing some terrible crap to their own people, but that isn't really our business.
I think what we should really look into is, like, World War I and World War II, for example. We did not enter World War I for ages, despite the fact that they were literally gassing our allies with good old mustard and chlorine gas. We only entered World War I when we were directly engaged at, like, the sinking of the Lusitania and the Zimmerman telegram. More the Zimmerman telegram than the sinking of the Lusitania, but the sinking of the Lusitania was still a very important event. And it's even more apparent with World War II, because we did technically know about the Holocaust. We had no idea how extreme it was, but we did know about the Holocaust, yet we never once intervened until the Japanese attacked us, prompting Hitler to declare war on us.
Alright,
and then
I gotta
the Cold
go.
War happened, which kind of did a 180 to all that. What did you say?
I have to go.
Of course you do. There was only one last bit of political news, and that was SAT scores. They will now increase your SAT scores if you're, supposedly, if you're in an area which has poor education, or in an area with high crimes. They will literally put points in your SAT scores to get you into college easier. I 100% disagree with it. This is not what the SAT is for.
Also, speaking of SAT scores, when are we going to get our PSAT scores back?
I don't know. It'll probably take a while.
They said, like, we'd hear about it first. Like, it's been like a month or two since we took them. So.
I think a month or two is fine. It usually takes them a while, because they have to calculate all that stuff. Well, thank you for joining us, or me, or God knows what, Jack. Like I said, you can find his Twitch, Brickbusters on Twitch. I have his YouTube channel linked on my channel page. Otherwise, that is it. If you are one of the very few people who watch the stream, you can watch any of my stream archives, Voos 200 Elongated, which you can find if you just scroll down. I have it in my dashboard.
Alright, see ya.
Otherwise, if you're one of the people who watch the VOD, You can join or interact with the stream. I announce whenever I'm streaming at Foos200 on Twitter, and I stream Foos200_3 on Twitch. Otherwise, that is it for me. Jack left the call, so he can't say goodbye, but I suppose I still can. So goodbye. I'm still in the tab, and goodbye.